recognized to explain it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This comes to us via Senator Barrett. It's for the town of Monticello, and it would add a 2% tax on hotel, motel, and restaurant fees. It is subject to a referendum of 60% of the voters for that referendum, and that's an explanation of the bill.
All right. Any questions on the bill or motion?
Title sufficient, do pass.
All right. Motion is title sufficient to pass. All those in favor say aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The ayes have it. That bill will be reported out. Next, Senate Bill number 2155. Senator Barnett, you're recognized to explain it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill is similar to the one we just passed out. It's for the city of Laurel. We're asking for a 1% increase in tourism tax for hotels and a $1 per room per night. This is to help with tourism efforts in the city of Laurel and Jones County. And it does have a repealer in it.
Okay. Are there any questions on the bill? Senator Sparks.
Does this bill also go to a vote, the referendum?
Yes.
Okay. And Senator Barnett, is this your district?
85% of this is my district.
Do you share this district with another senator?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Senator Parker. For a question.
Senator, what's the other senator you share the district with?
Senator McDaniels.
I guess, I may have more questions on this on the floor, but yeah, this is a local and private bill that's now double referred to finance here because I guess it includes a new tax here. And I know you and I have worked together on bills like this before, and I've been very supportive of that. Do you think it would be appropriate that the members from the Senate from your area both be in support of this bill for it to pass?
Senator Parks, I would like to say yes on that, Senator Parker, but we all are individual. We all have our individual thoughts. But when we talk about the passing of something, I would like to hope that this committee and this body would take the same position that we did with Senator DeBar in the education bill. Sometimes it's not about the politics, it's about the people. And I hope that on this particular thing, then we cannot let this be about the politics or how other individuals feel, but about the people that is going to have an impact on.
And so what is the intent of the bill? What do you see it happening for your community?
This would do some tremendous things for our community. If you all are aware, one of the most watched TV shows on is about a couple from Laurel, Mississippi that took a chance and now they're all over the TV on Hometown. And there's a lot of people that's moving into Jones County, visiting Jones County, the city of Laurel. And we basically run out of tax dollars to continue to promote Jones County and Laurel. And this would help do that because, in all actuality and reality, we do know that at some point this show is going to end, but we still would like to have the means to continue to showcase Laurel and Jones County, regardless of how other individuals feel. So I'm just asking this body again that we continue to help do what's being good, some of the good that's being done in my Senate district.
And in the time that you've served, but for the fact that this new television show has shown up in the area, and over the last 10 years, I don't think that it was being filmed there. We probably wouldn't see this legislation if it wasn't for that new need and for what is going on in Laurel at this time. Is that correct?
That's a possibility, yes. But being that we are experiencing this, then we would just like to continue what's been started.
Right. And so I'll share this too. In our area, we were fortunate enough to pass a local and private, several years ago to allow same time thing. We voted on it and then we came back and voted on it again. And it's sitting over on the House side right now in jeopardy of dying, and it generates little over $2 million a year for our park system. The park system in DeSoto County has been a draw. It has been a draw for baseball. It's been a draw for tennis, other things like that. And the reason it's in jeopardy is because sometimes people on this type of legislation take the thought of, well, any tax is a new tax, and I think sometimes it might be easy to say that if you don't think there's going to be a TV show that comes to your city or your town. But now here we sit with a new TV show. And then yesterday, someone who I don't think usually votes present on a local and private tax referendum voted present yesterday. It's the first time I remember it. And I tell people I'm not a good name person, but I remember things and I remember votes. And I don't remember there ever being a vote on a local and private that allowed a tax to even go to the ballot where some senator just voted present on. It's usually a no vote, because no tax is allowed ever. And I just share this, and I will be, if this bill makes it out of this committee, I want to prepare people here that I want everybody in here to give this some careful thought. I love the people of your city and love serving with you. I just find that the hypocrisy that we deal with on this issue is sometimes frustrating, and if your people decide they want to, help the people of Laurel, I'm all for them, but I would also like the people who represent them here to have their back too. And I just find that frustrating.
Senator Parker, I appreciate your concern in this matter. I really do. And I heard exactly what you had to say. And I've heard this since the introduction of this piece of legislation. But at the same time, we, again, not just in this committee, but this whole body, this chamber, this building, we have to ask ourselves that at the end of the day, when do we stop making this personal? And when do we start taking care of the will of the people that sent us here? And unfortunately, we have it on both sides. And I sympathize with what you're saying. And I know how you feel, because not only does this TV show directly affects my community, but there's people that's traveling through this state to perhaps get to Laurel. There's people that's traveling to this state to perhaps get to the location that you were talking about. And along the way, they're spending money all over Mississippi. They're helping Mississippi in many, many ways. And unfortunately, some don't see it like that. Well, let's let that be their mistake and not our mistake. So, Mr. Chairman, if there's not any more questions, I ask for a motion.
Just one more comment or question.
Sure.
I would love to work with you when this bill makes it to the floor. I would love for you to speak on it and speak to some of the issues that I did. I don't want to appear to be kind of the bad guy in this situation, because that's not me, but I do want people to realize exactly what's happening, and so it's nice sometimes to come in and be Captain Hindsight, who comes in and looks at a fire that's going on and tells everybody what's going wrong, and then flies away and doesn't produce a way to put the fire out. But I think we need people who act on the matter instead of using words like woulda, coulda, and shoulda, to get things done. So I'd love to work with you on this, but I also want to draw attention to it, because I think there are a number of people in the Senate who would like attention to be drawn to it. And it's my goal to make sure that we do that. So again, I'm not against your legislation. I just want to draw attention to some of the frustrations that have built in me over 10 years of serving here. So
I understand again, Senator Parker, I promise I do. And some of the times when we yield or we give that power to individuals, regardless of which side of this building they serve on, but when we allow things to happen as good legislation and we allow it to die, just trying to prove a point to whoever out there is listening or looking, it gives those individuals that actually made it, that caused it to die, it gives them an opportunity to say, hey, it was a victory for you. I think the way that we change that is start to make these kind of legislation happen so that we can show the people, because of this is what good came out of it, versus letting it die and have no opportunity to explain what could have come out of it.
All right. Thank you, Senator. Senator Chasnaw, you want to speak?
Briefly,
Sure. You're recognized.
it's no surprise to anyone on the committee that I'm a big fan of local and private legislation because this is something that the communities ask for. Nobody knows the needs of the communities better than they do themselves. I hold up as a quick example, Carrollton, North Carrollton, two little hamlets in Carroll County. Both of them, because of the local and private legislation, have now been able to get this tourism tax and use it to improve the street signs so that tourists who are coming to see the historic buildings can find them. They've been able to use the money from the 2% tax to improve parks. There's a historic building called the Tabernacle, which is where religious tent meetings used to be held. It's sort of an open air area. All of these things were done because of the local and private taxes in Carroll County. And I appreciate local and private generally, and in my district specifically. And the only thing I would like to say is, yes, I do think that Laurel has benefited because of the hometown program. In fact, I've been binge watching it lately, trying to figure out how somehow I could get hometown into my district, because people are coming not only from other states, but internationally, and buying properties and fixing them up. It's a wonderful thing for buildings. Some of them are 100 years old that have been renovated, repurposed, and used for the benefit of the people in that community. And the last point I'd like to make to you is next year is an election year. If there's somebody that's not representing their district well, the citizens of that district have every opportunity to replace that person. And Senator Bryan will be here until we carry him out in a box. But the people in a district, if they don't think I'm doing a decent job, they can replace me. And also, I would encourage any of you who are not opposed in next year's election, if you feel like you should go campaign for or against anybody that's running, please feel free to do so. I have, in years that I've been unopposed, gone to help other candidates. And I hope to continue to do that if I'm unopposed this next year. That's all I wish to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Jordan, for a question, or you want to speak on the bill?
Thirty seconds on the bill. Good that I could hear my chairman saying about tourism. Tourism is so significant for the state of Mississippi. We are a tourist state, and Natchez being one of our historical cities would make it even more positive. So the constituents gonna need this because actually people come through Mississippi to see Mississippi. A lot of history is in Laurel, Mississippi. So let's pass this bill so that the people speak next year. And hopefully they won't speak against this person if this bill does pass. But I don't want anything to stand in the way of tourism, because we can make this state an oasis if we embrace tourism. This bill does just that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Jordan. I think that's an excellent idea. Is there a motion? All right, motion is title sufficient to pass committee sub. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next is Senate Bill 3001. Senator Moran, you explain this? Senator.
Asking for a 3%.
All right, any questions on the bill? For a motion. Motion is title sufficient to pass as amended. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? It was a close one, but the ayes have it. Motion to rise and report. So
It sounded like that to me.